Hey guys, Nick is here as always, and today we're going to be talking about labels, barcodes, and label requirements. Let's get to it.
Natasha asks, Kolya, would you please, in one of your videos, explain this whole barcode thing?
Hey Natasha, thank you for your question. So when it comes to our Amazon, we have two labels slash barcodes. We have the UPC and we have the FNSKU. So the UPC is your unique product code, which is basically a code that that you can see on every single product whenever you go into the grocery store or whenever it gets scanned, beep at the front register before you leave. That's basically the unique code identifying that product all around the world. Whereas FNSKU is only specific to Amazon itself. So here's basically how it's going to work out. With UPCs, you have to get it on your own. FNSKUs, you get it once you create your product listing and you get your inventory requests, so to speak, right? After you finish saying, I'm going to deliver 1,000 items to this warehouse at this time, whatever, at the end, you'll say on the very last step, it'll say print labels, and that will be your FNSKU. Or you can do it separately from the main menu of your inventory, select one, and then click actions, and then on the drop-down menu of actions, it'll say print labels, and that's your unique FNSKU. So with UPCs, one thing's worth mentioning, which is why I wanted to address this question first, is that recently Amazon has said that they will only accept UPC codes from GS1. That means that you have to have a corporation or an individual seller registered in place, and then you will purchase from GS1 those UPC codes. You will purchase it from them. Now, although this is, here's basically what the whole difference is. I'm going to probably make a whole separate video just explaining it is, but in a nutshell, you can buy 99-cent codes on either eBay or different websites that I've covered before in some of my videos, or you can buy it from GS1, which will be under your name and under your corporation. Now, we're going to delve into that. I don't want you to think about it right now, but basically that is the main difference. So you do require both codes to be present on your item in some place or another. The thing is, for the FNSKU, you can pay Amazon 30 cents to label them for you, but the UPC, you need to have it. Placed yourself. I usually get my manufacturer to do it for me. So what I will do is I'll create a label myself where I include FNSKU and UPC, my brand name, whatever, into the packaging. That's all included, and I'll just get them to package the product for me. In some cases, they won't do that, so you'll have to package it either separately, or you'll have to just send them a sticker, ask them to, put it on top of the package. So the options are yours, but this is basically the difference. FNSKU is relevant only to Amazon, and it has to be there. UPC doesn't necessarily have to be on the packaging for Amazon only, but once you get off of Amazon, you have to have it present on your package, on your label. But with that said, you still need an individual UPC code when you're registering a new product, and that's a must. Amazon just won't allow you to register product without one. Hope that helps.
Roy asks, where did you label your products, FNSKU, and pallets? In US or China?
Hey Roy. So, for the labeling, my process is as such. I will create a product, and then at the very end, I will say print labels, and I'll get my FNSKU labels that way. UPC, when you purchase them, you get the code itself, and then you get also the picture of the barcode. So I will take those two, and I will combine them in Photoshop, and I will create a label probably about this big with my UPC and FNSKU, and I'll also add a little, the name of my product, the name of my brand, the name of my company into that label that my supplier allows me to do. Now, I'm currently in the process of actually working on packaging since I'm launching my second product. The first one is doing really good. Now I want to appear more professional. I want to build a brand. So now I will actually include both codes into the packaging, into the box design. So that way it could be there without any stickers or hassle or anything like that. I mean, it's going to vary case to case, but right now I'm getting my supplier to basically do all of that for me. In some cases, you will need a freight forwarder to either palletize and then create the pallet stickers and put them on there. The thing is, Amazon gives you everything. They give you the FNSKU, which is individual product label, or sorry, individual product, specified barcode for Amazon only, not the UPC, the FNSKU. They will also give you box labels and they'll give you pallet labels. So they give you all of that. All you got to do is just take it and forward it to whoever does the procedure. So in my case, the product and the box are getting labeled by my supplier, the person or the factory that makes the goods. So send it off to them. But the pallets is my freight forwarder's job. So they're going to pallet it, wrap it around, and then stick the label on there. So, naturally, I will send the pallet labels to my freight forwarder. I hope that answered your question.
Hey Nick, can you go over a little bit about label requirements or resources to learn about this?
All right, label requirements. This is probably one of the easiest things to answer, so I thought I would post it here, and then whenever somebody has a question about it, they could just, refer back to this video. The beauty about labels is that the very basic labels, which is the FNSKU code, the UPC, which is outside of Amazon, ecosystem, but still very easy to acquire. Box labels and pallet labels are all done for you. You pretty much, once you set up your inventory and you complete the replenishment order, you will get all of those labels in PDF form, so you can either send it off to someone to do the labeling for you, or you can do it yourself. If, let's say, you're having the product come to your house, you can just print it out, stick it on there, and then ship it off to Amazon. So that's a pretty easy part. One thing I would say is that FNSKU has to be visible on your product, whether you do it, whether your manufacturer does it, whether you do it specifically, or whether the Amazon does it for you and you pay 30 cents a sticker. That has to be visible. Like that, there is no way that your product can be sold without that kind of prep, and that's something you're gonna have to check mark. Either the seller does the FNSKU labeling, or the Amazon does FNSKU labeling when you're setting up your replenishment order. Now, just to give you an example, my first product was launched in a poly bag, and all it had is just a sticker, as I mentioned it earlier. I mean, I've improved over time, but it just had FNSKU that I basically just copied and pasted from what Amazon gave me. It had the Amazon barcode, and it said the product name and my brand. That's it. Like it's that simple. So the labeling doesn't have to be fancy at first. It's only as much as you will allow yourself to get away with when your customers receive it. If you're okay with customers just receiving a bland bag with just your name and a couple of codes, and they're just like, well, we don't care, we just want the product. Cool, go for it. But if your product requires branding or any kind of decorations that you need to make separately and then include those codes in there, well, you're just gonna have to, first find some sort of designer that can do that for you. Find, a way to package your product. Either your supplier's gonna do it, or somebody in the US. Before it goes to the warehouse, the products will go through the process of being packaged. But that's something you're gonna have to figure out. It's case by case basis. As I said before, currently I'm working on the whole process of, packaging and creating packaging. So I will make a separate video for that for you guys to make the process hopefully a little bit easier. But in the meanwhile, good luck. Alright, you sexy men and women, this concludes episode number 5. Thank you so much for all your questions. Comment down below if I wasn't clear about anything, or you have some questions unrelated to the topic. Give it a thumbs up if you got some value out of it. As always, subscribe, as I have these videos coming out weekly. And I promise you the background's gonna change very soon, as you may know. Later.